Hi, welcome to the Andrew Buckle book review of Aarrgghh! Its War. What a great title. I must admit, the title put me off buying the book for quite a long time. I looked at it, oh, yeah, Aarrgghh! Its War. Just then noticed, of course, it was war covers. And I love covers of comics, so war comic covers. And, and you can see the ones that is Air Ace, Battle, War Picture Library, as well as War at Sea. It's got a foreword by James May, of course, TV, and edited by David Roach. This is from Prion Books. There's 400 pages, 500 pictures, all in colour, all the way through. Just absolutely really beautiful. Obviously, the original covers were quite small. I mean, they were not very big. Obviously, you can see in the shops, you've got Commando still around. Obviously, that was the competitor, but you've got these ones were not the biggest ones. I love those sort of issues. I must admit, I've got a few. I haven't got many. I always remember picking them up quite off the shop. I didn't buy them because probably I wasn't that really interested in war comics. And I just, now I look and think, wow, there's the covers especially. Sometimes the artwork was never so great. However, it's got a great introduction. I love the introduction. So you've got, we've got the contents there. So you can see all the various war on land, etc., war in the air, war at sea. So it's split in sections. So you've got the different sections there. So that's 184, war at sea, 298. So you've got nicely split. And then you've got the actual things. Also, it's got a little bit of description about the Italian artists, English artists, etc. that worked on these. I think it's just beautiful. Look at that. Just huge picture there. These would be really good. I mean, these should be in the galleries. I don't know why they're not. There should be exhibitions of these sort of things. Some have you got here. You've got this, see the text. Some you haven't. Now, I don't know the reason why they put the ones with text. Maybe it's because they haven't got the original art anymore. They've just decided to put obviously one example, so they put that. I don't know. But I love the ones without, of course, the text. I mean, it's just great to see the whole thing. And you can see just so many examples. Also, they put the description as well, which is quite nice. So you've got, obviously the text of the artist, the magazine, Battle 1451, and also the date. This one's April 1981. I love that one, the rain now. Rain coming down. There's also some... Actually, I love the one there, blue. That's just absolutely glorious. Oh, that's amazing. Again, look at the artwork. Just absolutely beautiful. You can see all the details. Very, very crisp. You can actually see all of the way he's done it. Just beautiful. Absolutely. Obviously, the subject, someone's obviously been attacked. And the way he's done his shoe there. I just love the shoe. Just very, very, very faint marks. And you can just see a little bit of, obviously, people coming down on parachutes there. And other brief bits in the background. Just very roughly put in, and yeah, just effective. I mean, obviously that would be just brilliant on a cover. It was obviously brilliant on a cover. And you got just some really, not every page is full of brilliant artwork. I'd say there are some where I think they weren't brilliant. You know, they're a bit sort of, and of course you probably could go through it and look and see which ones are artists you like, which ones are, and you probably can spot patterns of styles. So, Alessandro Bifignandi. So you can see all. This is just full of page after page after page of just great artwork. Season old. And of course this was 2084. It's amazing how many issues that came out. I mean, this was originally Battle 68. Originally Battle 68. So I wonder if that suggests that obviously I assume it's been reprinted. It doesn't say where it was reprinted, unfortunately. I mean, look at that one, that red. Just not certain if there was much more of the picture, if without looking, of course, at the originals, which not vast collection of these. I've got a couple of them, and that's about it. They do turn up quite often in sort of shops and in markets and things, and you can pick them up relatively cheap as well. They're still not, though I suspect that some have more general collectible values than others, but this is just full of just lots of tanks there, top brass target. And of course, they were all different stories and so on. I don't know if there was actually often a sort of a character cast of people that regularly would turn up. So you would have like Sergeant Fury or Captain Savage sort of thing. If there was, I have no idea. Really don't know enough about them. Claws of the Tiger, Blood of Heroes. A lovely one there is Snow there in Battle 161. And also, one thing always was slightly disappointing for me was always they concentrated too much on the Second World War and not really enough on other periods of war. I would have loved, obviously the plain ones are not going to be, probably they could have still done, of course, the First World War, but obviously it's not going to be Roman. I always felt it was disappointing that, that's my favourite period, Roman, Civil War, etc. So I would have loved to have seen more of those books with those stories, and not just always the war, which is fine, of course, but obviously that's what sold. But I would have loved to have seen more of sort of historical ones, and they didn't seem to do that. Or maybe they did, I don't know. Maybe I never saw them. Oh, you got here, oh, I don't know. They all seem to be generally Second World War. But you got lots of ones there. Planes. And then you got, obviously, we're into war in air. Obviously, there's got an example of a ship there. But they are just spectacular. I mean, that is just, wow, this explosion there. I mean, obviously, you would not want to be on a boat that's got that. But of course, the artwork, when you look at the artwork, and because it's so close, you can actually see all the detail, and you can really see, it's obviously just simple lines that are just brilliant. I love just obviously everything about that is just brilliant. And even there, you've got there with the people on the beach. Not again very good situation, of course, to be in, but you just the people they're drawn just very, very lightly, just subtle, but at the same time. What was that one? It was in Japan. Actually, there's very few I've actually seen the Japanese ones. That's strange. Angry Skies. Oh, I love that one. Love green. What's always green? I don't know, something about green covers that always get me. That one's quite good as well. Actually, there's so many. Last of the Gladiators. Unfortunately, not set in ancient Rome. And you've got obviously ones on boats, and there's quite a few boat ones at the back. Like I said, split them into obviously standard war, obviously air, and then obviously sea. And you've got the Sixth Sense there. Just everything. This book is just absolute first rate. And the thing is that's even better about this book, it has got a brilliant index at the back, which is super useful. Well, that's quite a good one, that one there. Anyway, let's just get to the back. And it's got, no, it actually doesn't, looked a bit more when I was just going through it a bit earlier. I just thought, oh, that's a, you got here the index to the comic series, and it's got, so it hasn't got everything. So if you're looking at this thinking, you know what, I'm going to find Air Ace 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, it doesn't. So you've got number 1, issue 2, then issue 8, then 11, 15, 18, 21, 23, 24, 27, 29, 30, and it's got obviously covers here. And you've got some here, you've got page numbers as well, obviously different things. So maybe it's not every single one of covers. War Holiday Special, War at Sea, Thriller, War, Battle. And then you've got the artist on the other page, and you've got obviously a briefest of indexes there. Unfortunately, it would have been really nice, would have been little biographies at the back. I would like that, I must admit. I mean, there's a lot of information about them at the front, but a nice little separate section at the back about biographies would have been nice. But still, that's just a nice little index with Ian Kennedy there. Actually, very few, you can, there's Oliver Frey, Henry Fox, Fernando Fernandez, and so on and so on. And then, what's the next one? Oh, cover titles. So you've got all the cover titles there. Though, I must admit, I suppose they're the ones that, of course, they've got the, because that doesn't look like 400 or 500, because there's 500 pictures in here, so obviously, clearly, that can't be every single cover title. So it must be the ones that just got titles on the covers, whereas the others, of course, there's quite a lot without titles. Actually, in many ways, it would have been nice to have actually put that in the listing. It would have said blah, blah, blah on the thing. That would have been quite nice, but they didn't. However, it's got obviously, at least it's got page numbers. Not all the way through. So some of these obviously haven't got page numbers on the ones. I mean, it would spoil it if it actually had page numbers on those ones where it's full page. That would have been very disappointing. But I think this is just a really epic collection and really worth. If you love comic book art, love war books, this is a must-have. It really is. So I definitely would recommend checking this one out. I think it's just great. And of course, there's also the Thriller and the War Picture Libraries index books that from Book Palace. And that actually was the reason I thought, oh, you know what, I must get this as well. But they're pretty good as well. So if you want covers there, but they're a bit smaller. This does really show the covers, and I totally recommend this. So brilliant. Aarrgghh! It's war!